Good Shabbos again, everybody. I'm convinced that all of us have teachers that we can look back in our lives and thank God that they were in our lives, that they influenced for good. They made us better people. They made the people that we are today. I look back in my own life. I think about the first grade teacher that made me her teacher's pet. It made me special and made me feel very special in her classroom. I think about the philosophy teacher I had in college, who more than any other teacher taught me how to write. I think about the Bible professor I had in rabbinical school, who taught me how to really study Torah and understand what God is trying to teach us when I study Torah. I even think about my 7th grade teacher that almost failed me in English, but she really made me a better writer. And I even appreciate the fact that I got a 71 in that class. We can all look back and think about the teachers that truly did make us the people that we are today. But how often do we go back and thank those teachers? Do we show enough appreciation for those who've influenced us for good in our lives? Even Moses, considered the greatest teacher of all time, according to the rabbis, was very depressed at the end of his life because he wasn't sure whether or not he was an effective enough teacher, whether or not the values, the wisdom, and the beauty of the tradition that he had received from God at Mount Sinai had truly been passed on to those who would come after him. So according to the Midrash, God had to show him the Council of Elders, the Sanhedrin, and later rabbinic courts, and later Jews in future generations, that they had learned from Moses, that Moses, in fact, had been a very effective teacher. At the end of his life, according to the rabbis, Moses didn't want to be known as the lawgiver. He surely could have been. He brought the law down from Mount Sinai. He didn't want to be known as the great freer of slaves, the liberator of our people, even though he surely could have been, as he helped free us from Egypt. He was God's messenger to the Pharaoh. What Moses wanted to be known as is Moshe Rabbeinu. Moses, our teacher. Moses, our rabbi. Because the word rabbi, Rav, comes from the idea of being a teacher. And Moses, at the end of his life, amongst all titles, wanted to be known as someone who taught other people. This made him feel better knowing that throughout all time, even 3,000 years later, even here, a world away in Houston, Texas, we still refer to Moses as Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher. It's a reminder to us, our rabbis tell us, that Moses was signaling to you and me, Jews who would live thousands of years later, that ultimately it's teachers who make us the people that we are. And yet I ask again, how often do we go back to those teachers and remind them of what they've done for us? There's a great story I once read of a mighty king. And in his village, in his land, in his empire, he needed a new court advisor. He was looking for a number one advisor, a counselor that he could go to in times of need, who he could get advice from. So he made a summons, and all these people lined up to meet with the king. First, there was a brilliant doctor, and he met with the king, and he told the king, "I'm the best doctor in the land. I can help you, king, cure all illness, cure disease, make all people in your kingdom feel better." The king was very tempted, but he was looking for something more. Then the number one lawyer in the land came and met with the king and said, "King, I can help you pass better laws, a better judicial system. I can improve your kingdom." The king was impressed, but he wanted something more. And then the number one engineer in the entire kingdom met with the king and told the king, "I can help you design better roads, better buildings. We can engineer together and make this empire much better." The king was tempted, but he wanted something more. And then finally, the fourth final candidate was a woman older than all the other candidates. The king was perplexed. What could this woman offer? And all she said to the king was, "I was all their teacher." And the king knew at that point that he wanted her as his advisor. Do we show enough appreciation to the teachers, whether they're back in preschool, elementary school, high school, middle school, college, or maybe grad school. Tonight, it's a reminder to all of us to thank our teachers in our lives. As tonight, we show appreciation for all the teachers here at Beth Yeshurun and throughout our community. And what a beautiful way to do it, with 31 of our children from our religious school and day school, with our head of our day school, Jennifer Levine, and our religious school director, our director of education, Cheryl Eskowitz. We come together as one tonight to show appreciation for truly, I believe, the most important people that work here at Beth Yeshurun, because ultimately, they are our future. So tonight, before we bless them, I'm going to ask the cantor to lead us in a melody and a song which we all love. Reminds us that those Jewish values that we appreciate, those Jewish values that we treasure, have truly been passed down generation to generation. L'dor v'dor.
L'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, nagid God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, nagid God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, nagid God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha
So now it's my honor to ask all the teachers in our community who are here this evening to please stand in your seats. Let us acknowledge you and thank you. And so we have two prayers. And please remain standing. We have two prayers for our teachers. First, hopefully our teachers have our Shabbat announcements. You'll see on the second to last page a teacher's prayer. And I was first going to have all our teachers recite this prayer. And for you to keep as well is a reminder to you in your daily tasks, no matter where you teach, that you truly are doing God's work. And so let us recite now first a teacher's prayer. May my love for teaching continually inspire me to enrich and develop my skills. May I be patient and steadfast as I apply myself to my profession. May I have the strength of heart, the purpose of mind, and the gentleness of soul to educate, nurture, and guide those in my care. May the daily challenges I face become opportunities for personal growth. As I share my knowledge and experience, may I remain open to continually learn from my students. And now let me offer this prayer to all of our teachers on behalf of all of us at Beth Yeshurun. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, our God in heaven, may God instill in you, the teachers of our children, the courage, the pure heart, and the talent to lead your students. May God endow you with the patience, wisdom, and strength that you need. May God help you inspire students to be diligent in their studies and help you implant within them a love of righteousness. May you be blessed and strengthened as you have blessed and strengthened your students. May you have peace, grace, kindness, mercy, long life, and everything you need in your holy task. And let us say, Amen. Yeshkach again, and thank you to all of our teachers.